Hello and welcome to a new lesson for English learners in grade 7. My name is Sanja Božinović and I will be your English teacher today. Our today's lesson is there an app for that? In today's lesson we will listen to a short text about the use of mobile applications. By the end of today's lesson you will be able to talk about using a mobile application. For this lesson, you will need your pencil and a notebook, and you will also need your tablet or your mobile phone with a reliable internet connection. We'll start today's lesson by naming some activities that you already do with the help of an app. For this activity, you need your notebook. Please pause this video, take your notebook, and start writing the sentence. I have used an app for. Please complete this sentence by naming some activities that you usually do with the help of an app. When you have written your sentences into your notebook, you can decide to share your ideas with your classmates and other students who study with the help of this lesson. To do that, you can scan the QR code that you can see on the screen, or you can copy the link that you can see on the left-hand side into your browser. The link is answergarden.ch/1459983. When you copy it, or if you scan the code, you will find the sentence I have used an app for and the space where you can write your answer, and you will be able to read what other students have already added, what other students have already used the applications for. Have fun! When you say I have used, you use the present perfect. You have already learned about the present perfect, and I hope you know that present perfect is used for finished actions. Let's see what it consists of. You have the subject, and in all these sentences the subject is I, and the verb consists of two parts, have or has, and the verb plus ed if the verb is regular, like visit, visited, check, checked, improve, improved. Remember the rules for adding ed that you can see on the screen. But some verbs are not regular, they are irregular, like for example read, 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 be, was, were, been. In the case of an irregular verb, you have to learn the third form by heart. Let's remember now when we use the present perfect. The form is on the left-hand side, and the question when on top of the screen. You can pause this video and you can study this slide if you are not sure how or when to use the present perfect. The two answers that I have given for you are: we use the present perfect when we speak about something, an activity that's happened before now. We don't know when exactly, and it's not important when. Look at the picture, you can see an eye. We are looking at an activity which happened in the past, before now. We don't know when exactly. That's when we use present perfect, have plus past participle of the main verb. Let's practice. You can pause the video and copy the parts of the sentences into your notebook. On the left, you have the first part, I have, and on the right you have the verbs. Please turn the verbs into the past participle to get the sentence, and then complete your sentence. I have used. You can say I have used an app for booking a ticket. I have visited. I have visited the virtual world. I have checked. I have checked the weather forecast. I have improved. I have improved my language skills. I have read. I have read many books and listened to some. I have been to a few good restaurants. These are the examples that are correct, my examples. If you don't have all your examples, you can copy some of these too. But it's even better if you've come up with your own examples. Well done. Now you will hear a dialogue. There will be two boys talking about their experience of using different apps. Your task is to listen carefully and try to understand how many apps the boys mention and what kind of apps these apps are. Have you tried any of them? If you have any problem understanding the dialogue or you need to listen to it more times, you can see the link to the text on the screen. Please copy that link into your browser and you will get the access to the text.
What is the weirdest app you have used?
Let me think. I have never used it, but my cousins have tried the app that they call Creepy but Cool. They say it is one to make you scratch your head.
What does it do?
Absolutely nothing. When you launch it, you only see a blank screen and nothing happens. There is a free version and a pro version.
And what does the pro version offer?
Even more nothing. Weird, isn't it? I really do not understand the idea and the thought process behind it.
Perhaps all people who have downloaded it just wanted to see for themselves and maybe try to uncover the logic. Or maybe there is a truth in the old saying that there is a customer for every product.
I'm not a fan of those weird apps that some people think are also cool. I like my apps to help me with something I really need.
What is the most useful app you have downloaded?
There are two apps I'm using now, one to keep me safe and one to help me learn.
Could you tell me more about them? What do they do?
The app that keeps me safe allows me to send an instant call for help to 6 friends. I can do it with a touch of one button. The GPS tracker marks my location on my friends' devices and they can find me easily in any emergency.
Your circle of 6? That's cool. Are you sure it works as described?
Yes. 2 friends went for a bike ride the other day. They managed to get lost in the forest where they went for the first time to test their new bikes. Of course, there were some other ways to look for rescue, but buzzing your circle of trust surely is a safe and quick way.
What a convincing story. Thank you. Tell me more about the learning app, please.
The app is called Wolfram Alpha. My friends describe it as Google on steroids. I can ask a question and it gives me an answer. The best thing is, it does not give me a list of documents and web pages where I can look for the right answer, but it offers an answer. I can ask questions about measures, places, people, history, and geography. It can save a lot of time when you are doing some research for your homework.
Are you sure that all these apps are free?
Yes, I am careful with my money and I always try to use free apps if I can find them in good quality.
Thank you for telling me about these two apps. I might start using them too. I think I will skip nothing for now. I will never be that curious, I'm sure.
I hope you enjoyed the story. How many apps do the boys mention? 3 apps. Have you tried any of them? You can complete your notes in your notebook. Let's check that you understand the vocabulary that you need to understand this story better. Do you know the words download, launch, weird, creepy, GPS tracker, scratch one's head? You can practice matching the words and their definitions if you copy the link that you can see on the screen, bit.ly 3apps1 into your browser, and you will find the word wall exercise in which you can match. You can play with words until you are sure you understand them well and you can use them. Here are correct answers. You can pause this video now and you can copy the words and the definitions into your notebook. When we use the present perfect, we often use ever or never in the sentences. Let me give you an example. We can ask, have you ever used an app to read a book? When is ever? Ever is sometime from the past until now. Do we know exactly when? No. Ever from the past until now. And where do we place ever? we place ever in front of the verb and we say, have you ever used? The same place is occupied by never in the answer. I have never used an app to read a book. Both ever and never go just in front of the main verb, and their meaning is the same from the past until the present moment, ever, ever, ever in the question, never, never, never until now in the answer. Let's practice making sentences. Think of a few activities that either you, people you know, have never done. Practice making sentences. I have never, and then the past participle. You can pause this video and copy the beginnings of the sentences into your notebook and then complete them to tell about what people have never done. After you have finished writing your sentences, it's time for your first speaking task. For your first speaking task, you will present one of the apps from the dialogue, and you will present it in 5 to 6 sentences. First, you will name the app. Choose one of the apps from the dialogue. Then you will give some information about the app. You can mention the people who have used it, how they have used it. Again, you can use the information from the dialogue. And finally, you will review the app. You will say how good it is and what drawbacks you have noticed. When you have finished, you will rank it. You will say, I would give this app 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, up to 5 stars. Have fun! Your speaking task number 2 is Dream Come True. We will start by thinking of an activity, everyday activity, which you find hard or boring. And you will imagine that there is an app to do it instead of you, and you have tried that app. Your task is to describe how it's worked. Mention 1 or more positive sides and 1 or more negative sides of the app. Again, give the app 1 to 5 stars for quality. Practice task 1 or task 2. It's your choice, or you can do both. And then record your talk. Make an audio or video file. When you have recorded yourself speaking about the app that you have chosen, listen to yourself and use the rubric to check how successful you are. When you are happy with your recording, you can share it with your teacher and with your classmates. This rubric will help you assess your work. The criteria in this rubric are knowledge of facts, vocabulary, use of language, and the organization of your talk. What we are aiming is the well done column. So that means that in your talk, you have to describe 2 or more positive and 2 or more negative qualities of the app, use 5 or more new words, use present perfect correctly in 2 or more sentences, and to organize your talk as instructed in the speaking assignment. When you go through the rubric and assess your work, if you're not too happy, you can always record again and get back to the rubric to check how well you've done. Have fun! We've come to the last activity of today's lesson. It's the exit card. You will write it into your notebook. The first sentence in this exit card is about what you have learned in today's lesson. Please write 1 sentence about what you have learned in today's lesson. I have learned. Complete the sentence. Then write 1 sentence about what questions you still have about the content of today's lesson. What haven't you learned yet? When you finish your exit card, that's the end of today's lesson. I hope you have enjoyed thinking, listening, and speaking about how we use applications in everyday life. That's all for today. Goodbye until our next lesson.